What prompted yesterday's shutdown of Mogale City? Why is there a tendency by communities to use violence instead of engaging in dialogue? Is it fair to blame the prevalence of brothels and drug dens in Krugersdorp on foreign nationals? And what are law enforcers in Gauteng doing to address the grievances of the people of Mogale City? What time is it? It's question time. Khotsong Muraro Gurula, my name is Mpho Tsedu. Yesterday, the Krugersdorp CBD in Mogale City erupted in flames. This as residents of Kagiso, Munsieville and neighbouring areas went on the rampage protesting against crime, drugs and human trafficking. A number of houses alleged to be used for drug peddling and trafficking were torched. Few people were injured in the crossfire while others were arrested. Allegations are that some foreign nationals are running brothels and drug dens in town. The violent protests were apparently triggered by the kidnapping of a 30-year-old Kagiso woman by suspected drug lords last Wednesday. She was found 24 hours later. Circumstances for her kidnapping are still being investigated. While Police Minister Fikile Mbalula was expected to visit the area today. Similar chaos occurred in Rustenburg 2 weeks ago, where 6 buildings suspected to be drug dens were burned down. But have communities lost confidence in law enforcement agencies? We are live. Therefore, you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial 089-110-4210. Outside the borders, +2789-110-4210. Tweet us your comments at QuestionTime24. And a reminder that you can also live stream us on our Facebook page, SABC News Online, and our YouTube channel, YouTube/SABC Digital News. My guests are Mark Buffon. He's the chairperson at the African Diaspora Forum. And we also are expecting to be joined by Anna Kupeta, who's Advocacy Program Manager at the Center for the Study of Violence and Reconciliation, CSVR. And, as usual, we have invited the police. So, we hope that Lieutenant Colonel Lungelo Dlamini, who is the Gauteng Police spokesperson, will be available on the line. But we're going to try and get hold of him right away. But firstly, let's take a quick break. When we return, we get ahead, or rather, we get into the show. This is Question Time. Please don't go away.
If you asked the British how they felt about being the biggest cider drinkers in the world, they'd say something like this. Yes. Well, we don't know about you, but that sounds like a challenge. Challenge accepted.
Get a 12-pack of Savannah Dry Premium Cider Handies for only $109.99 from Tops at Spar.
So welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. I guess, like I said, Mark Buffon is the chairperson of the African Diaspora Forum, and Anna Kupeta is Advocacy Program Manager at the Center for the Study of Violence and Reconciliation. And I hope we have Lieutenant Colonel Lungelo Dlamini, who is the Gauteng Police spokesperson. But indeed, we'll be taking your calls throughout this program. Let me welcome both of you to the show. Let's just use Kagiso as a case study here. But the demands, so to say, or the reasons for the violence are not different from what was happening in Rustenburg. Let's just recap on that.
I think the community, our communities have a real concern. A community cannot just go out on rampage. So they have a real concern. It's unfortunate that maybe we didn't teach our different communities how do you escalate. When you go to your local police station, you report crime, and the police doesn't listen to you.
Yeah.
How do you go to the next level, which could be the cluster level?
Yes.
And how do you escalate that crime up until to the minister's office? This is something that we need to teach our communities, because it's very frustrating that when the community goes to the authorities who are supposed to protect them and they get no answer, I think it's difficult. Our plea is the community not to give a nationality to a criminal. It is very important that communities stand side by side, migrants or South African citizens. This is very important and key in fighting crime, because when you give a nationality to a criminal, if I'm from that specific nationality, then I'm discouraged to fight crime because I'm labeled already as a criminal.
Okay, now let's play specifics here. So basically what you're saying is the people must not say Nigerians are peddling drugs and running brothels in Krugersdorp.
Look, what we are saying is that it is key that when we identify a criminal, be it a Nigerian, a Ivorian, a Ghanaian, or whoever the case may be, a South African or whoever the case may be, just report him to the authorities. If the local authority doesn't respond, and that's where you kind of follow the scale that we just mentioned.
So what happens in the event that indeed those drug peddlers are Nigerians?
Look, I know of Nigerian, very nice and good, honest Nigerians in our universities here teaching. When you use the name Nigerian, you're also labeling this person as a criminal. So these are our concerns. We are saying that let us not give a criminal, in fact, a criminal, his nationality should be jail. We should label the criminal, we should give him a nationality as jail. That's the nationality that we give to a criminal, because that's where he belongs.
Okay. Well, we're taking your calls, 089-110-4210. Do we have the South African Police Services spokesperson on the line? Well, I'm told we do not have them as yet. I don't know why, but, SABS, we are waiting to hear from you because there are concerns that communities have raised there. They're saying they come and report crimes, you do nothing. So we are waiting to hear from Colonel Lungelo Dlamini there. But the violence, let's talk about the violence that accompanies this type of protest. Is it a reciprocative type of violence to say we are being, there's a lot of violence that is meted against us as a community, whether in the form of drugs or crime or whatever. We have gone to the police, they are not helping us, and this is how we're going to retaliate.
We really are seeing increase in the use of violence. Previously, we've seen the use of violence as a language that our leaders, be it community leaders, be it the police, be it the media and a number of stakeholders, understand that smoke that calls people to a crisis or to a specific grievance that the community would have tried to raise, but without any intervention from the leaders. Lately, we are seeing violence being used as a currency by communities to enforce their rights. For instance, here, violence is being used to ensure that communities are much safer. But also, again, there is that element of communities taking the law into their hands because of the loss of confidence in the police services in South Africa. So there is a number of issues, really. But what we are seeing is that violence is becoming that currency to bring everyone to bring issues to the spotlight in communities where other more peaceful ways of engaging with community leaders, with the police, and other stakeholders who can actually make a difference have failed.
Colonel Dlamini, do we have you on the line? Colonel Dlamini?
I'm listening, sir.
Yeah, but you could have confirmed when I asked if we have you on the line.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm listening to you. You can see my number is on the line.
No, I can't. I'm in studio. Anyway, welcome to Question Time.
All right. Okay, I'm waiting.
Yes. The people of Kagiso are saying they don't have confidence in your forces, in your men and women in blue. What's your response?
Those allegations that have been coming up from time to time. But we want the community to formalize these complaints, to come forward and identify those people that are involved. If they see police cars around the area where they are involved in corruption, they can also take the registration number, because all our cars have got tracking systems. We can track and see where were those policemen at a certain particular time.
But they are saying they have reported these crimes before. They have reported that there are brothels, illegal brothels that are being run in this area. They have reported that there are drug peddlers in this particular area, and nothing has been done by your people.
If there is evidence in that regard that they reported those cases, if I can have the case numbers, and then look at those case numbers, we'll come out with an answer. What did we do with those reports?
Does it only take a case number for you, Colonel Dlamini? Does it only take a case number for you, Colonel Dlamini, to be aware that there's a problem, that communities have raised concerns about drugs and illegal brothels?
All the complaints, they need to be formalized, so that there must be legal action that is going to be taken. But we cannot depend on rumors, and white allegations.
So what happened to anonymous reporting of crime?
So if you report a crime anonymously, if you report a crime stop, you'll have a reference number, and that reference number is used for investigation, and crime stop will also come back to you to say that is the case that you reported on that particular time. That is what is being done. But even if you report anonymously, you will be given a reference number.
So basically what you're saying is that the people of Kagiso and Munsieville who were protesting yesterday violently, as it should be condemned, are basically out of order. They don't know, they have no grounds whatsoever to complain about what they are complaining about.
We are dealing with those complaints, and we met with the community leaders yesterday.
Yeah, but the fact that you only met them yesterday means you haven't been doing anything for a long time.
As I'm speaking today, the minister is meeting with the community to get all these allegations. If there is anything that we are not doing, as the minister will be taking action.
Yeah, but the minister is only going there because they protested yesterday.
That's repeat that question, sir.
I'm saying the minister is only in Kagiso today because the people of Kagiso shut down Kagiso yesterday.
Yeah, they were shutting down Kagiso because we believe they were taking the law into their own hands, because if they had reported those things to the the higher authorities. They can report to the station commander, but if the station commander is not taking action, there are channels which the community must take to report those allegations.
Okay, hold it there. I have Simon. Simon is in Krugersdorp. Welcome.
How are you, Po?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
Thank you. Po, I'm a resident of Makusho village, Popo, but I'm working at Krugersdorp. Yes, yeah. This, I think we need minister intervention seriously, because people, are tired actually because of this. These guys who are selling drugs, they are doing this in front of our houses, and then in our streets we see them every day, and police are not doing anything. Well, so now, if you see this thing, the people are tired. I'm telling you, people are tired. Well, there's no control.
That is Simon.
Yes, Simon.
Colonel Zamini says what you're saying is not true, that the police are not doing anything.
No, definitely he's lying. Sorry to say that, he is lying.
No, you don't have to be sorry.
Yes, we see those guys every day. You see, driving the nice cars, selling drugs, and then they don't even hide nowadays. They do it, in front of us.
Simon, I want you to stay on the line. Colonel Zamin, yes. There is somebody who is in Krugersdorp. Colonel Zamin?
Yes, sir.
I'm saying there is Simon who is in Krugersdorp, who is contradicting what you are saying.
But I think if you can ask Simon, to whom did he report this? Maybe Simon can come up with evidence that he has reported these allegations to somebody, because if you report a case, you will have the name of the police station, you will have a case number. So if I can have that evidence, so to say that, okay, these allegations have been reported to the police station, there is a case number and all those things. Now we'll take the matter further.
Simon, did you hear the colonel's response?
I hear him, but what he's trying to say, it is impossible, Mpo. To just go every day and then to report the same thing that's already been reported. You understand? Because these things, we saw them, the police sometimes, we can even see the police interact with those guys. You understand? They are not doing nothing. You understand? That's why we say, if people are now taking the laws on their hands, and now you start to blame those people, you are wrong, because now people, this is just a result. They're showing you that you are not doing nothing. So we're going to take an action. Simple as that.
Simon,
thank you, Paul.
Thanks very much for the call.
Okay.
So, Colonel, are you saying to us on record that there had never been a matter relating to drugs and illegal brothels and human trafficking reported in Kagiso?
I'm saying the complaints, the allegations, they need to be formalized so that the action must be taken.
So far, you do not have, as South African Police Service, any record of a complaint laid about these matters?
I think you must be coming to me with the record that these are the complaints that were made to the police. What have you done with it? But now you are coming with nothing. You are making allegations yourself, and you are now blaming us for doing nothing.
No, Colonel, I'm not making allegations here. But let me try to get them to just sort out that line. Apparently it's not so clear. But back to studio here. Mark, do you know of these problems of drugs and illegal brothels and human trafficking in Kagiso and perhaps Rustenburg?
Look, if you recall, a few months down the line, from Rustenburg, people went on rampage and burned some houses. Similar thing that we are experiencing now. I think we don't have a proper channel to report crime.
It's police station and 08600 10111.
You see, the police, the authorities, from time to time might feel the community. And if a local authority failed, you need to know and to have a system existing to escalate the crime, the report. We don't have that.
Yeah, but well, the colonel is saying there's not even a single report. But wait there. Peter, you are in Soweto. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
I just want to say to Lungelo, can he just tell us from which province where this is so different? Whether Gauteng or Mpumalanga or whatsoever, if he puts that statement that he puts, which is so vague in terms of his responses, which province where they are working differently so? Secondly, I'm calling from Doronkope and knowing that Kagiso is next to us here.
Yes.
Exactly the same pattern. Nothing is different. Exactly the same pattern. Now, I want to say to the gentleman on the studio there, please, man, you mustn't come here and teach us on how to escalate matters. We know how to escalate matters. But we are sick and tired of how our policemen and women, not all of them, on how they are operating. We have lost confidence.
No,
thank you.
Colonel Dlamini thinks people have not reported these things formally, as he says. But anyway, communities are fed up. Is violence justified?
Communities are fed up. I think from everything that has happened from Rustenburg to Krugersdorp, what has been happening in the West Rand, really there is that desperation from communities to make the communities safe again. However, there is a high cost to pay when violence is used to secure that safety in communities, or where violence becomes that currency to enforce communities' rights to safety, communities' rights to peace and order in their communities. One of those negative impacts is that to the children, our children on the streets who see violence and violence happening, we are sending a wrong message to say violence is okay. Violence is a way of resolving issues or dealing with crisis. And secondly, the community members, law-abiding community members who are frustrated, fed up, and so desperate to deal with crime that is increasing in communities. When they resort to violence, they commit crimes that also would make them criminals, and then they'll be arrested. I think in Krugersdorp already, by this afternoon, about 52 people were arrested in connection with this violence. So then you get a criminal record, whereas you've been a law-abiding citizen. So there is a high cost to pay for using violence as a language to deal with some of the crises that we have in our communities. There are less violent ways or non-violent ways of dealing with these issues. However, it calls for a multi-stakeholder engagement where we have our community leaders coming on board to listen and engage with community members where they use non-violent ways of raising issues and also bringing their grievances in order for them to be addressed. In Kagiso, in Krugersdorp, we hear that community members had actually sent petition to local authorities about these issues, but nothing was done. So there is a need for local leaders to actually come on board and really be open to engaging with communities where they really raise these issues in their communities.
Well, let me give you closing thoughts.
We definitely believe that crime cannot be fought for only one stakeholder. We should come together as one community and fight crime and break the barriers of nationalities. You know, in any community, you want to raise your children in a safe environment. And I think it's very important that we don't go look for nationalities. When we identify a criminal, let us go report him, let us isolate him, let us send him to jail, and that's what we need to do. Currently, the approach that we're taking is very reactive, that we only waiting until the situation goes out of hand before even intervening. And we are calling upon the Minister of Home Affairs, the Minister of Police, to find a way that the communities could be able to escalate.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Colonel Dlamini,
yes.
I want to ask you, are you able to come into studio right here on Question Time so that we can talk about some of those things that you were saying face to face?
I don't have a problem with that, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Our producers will be in touch with you. That was Question Time for today, but on a somber note, as you may have heard, that a giant has fallen. You, Masekela Obrayu, right here on Question Time, we say, may his soul rest in peace. And a big thank you to my guest and to you for watching the show. I be hot.
So the issue of waves is that don't underestimate yourself. You are exactly the cornerstone of the solutions we are looking for.
To go and intervene and make sure that people respect the Constitution.
Now, if drug dealers are paying political leaders, then you will never get rid of that problem.
We need to see detail that we will not see further bailouts.
Fidel, a towering figure of the 20th century.
Stay tuned to PM News for all your news updates every Saturday and Sunday from 1500 hours.
We take an in-depth look of all your stories of the day across the